everyone. So, as the topic title might be much more clear for Indian context, EKYC, electronic KYC, and the crisis emerging out of that. So, looking at this image, what can you imagine or what can you relate with? It's old government files piled up somewhere in a stack inside the office. You would very soon realize that was very good technology compared to what we have right now in form of digital. Just a small disclaimer, you have to be very attentive. Your thought processes will completely change after this. Are you ready to change your signature, name, house address, mobile number, and even date of birth? Is it really possible? Are you ready to be scammed legally? Are you ready to have some of the FIRs in your name? If no, be attentive. You will see so many things coming up very serious. The overall outline, I would be discussing around what is EKYC solutions currently available, what could be the risk, how can we create forged documents inside official portals, how can we download unauthorized documents which does not belong to us, how the verification system fails, misconception of the official applications, various examples exploited live in the wild, unverified documents, updation process. You will see video KYC and deepfakes, how those can be used, CKYC, and most essential, the importance of immovable versus movable assets when it comes to EKYC. Looking at the image, on the left side you will see credit card, right side you will see ID proof. What would you rate to be more crucial data for you? ID proofs you would be able to hotlist, you would be able to block your cards, but just by chance if your ID card leaks, imagine if your Aadhaar card has been leaked somewhere. It's lifelong along with you, irrevocable, immutable, you won't be able to change. Once lost, your data is permanently lost. So talking about EKYC, it stands for Electronic Know Your Customer. It's essentially a process to validate who the subscriber is and the other process of gathering identification documents, address proof, contact details, so and so and so forth. Areas of EKYC, banking, fintech, telecom, it can be e-governance, travel and tourism, road safety, medical insurance, subsidies, education, and the list is so huge. Various types of EKYC solutions which are currently available, you would see the most common ones, file-based or form-based file uploads. They will ask you take snapshot of your physical ID proof and upload it through normal file upload process. Then many times people do ask to share your documents over email or any of the IAM services. And in recent times, you would also have seen Aadhaar-based EKYC. Some of the digital documents are shared by the official applications, portals. And last but not least, digital signature attestation. These are the most frequently used EKYC solutions. Now, we'll have glimpse on risk what could arise from the previously seen solutions available. The first and foremost, data breach. Just imagine you have uploaded your ID proof somewhere and that server gets compromised, your ID proofs eventually are leaked. There is nothing to stop once you have given your documents to someone to replay them, to reuse it for some other purpose. Because our documents does not list for what purpose they are going to be used further. Lack of tamper protection, lack of proper audit trail, how it was being used, and most biggest of all, it's a national security risk. You can just imagine the way this page shows you, and it's a never-ending list. Very soon you will realize to what extent now we are in a crisis. The first example, loading a forged document in the official applications. I will anonymize them, but still these are wild, 0 days. IT Act says whatever documents you are showing from the official document sharing applications will be counted at par to the physical documents. Verifiers would blindly trust if you are able to load some of the forged documents inside these applications due to this reason. So the hack would be so simple. You just need to add any of the HTTP proxy, response modification, and done. On the right of the screen, you see the application. Left side, you see the burp is configured. The verifier always sees the mobile application. He will not see what's happening in the burp suite. I have intercepted the API, just modified the response coming in, planted my own application photo. Now see, the application actually is now showing the tempered ID proof. This is the official application which is being used to distribute digital documents. Just to mock around, I have added illogical, unrealistic photo, but this can be replaced with any of ID proofs. We can name it anything, we can have anyone's photo, any date of birth, anything. Just imagine the scope where this can be used, what all can go wrong with this. Now in current era, you will see AI growing at the scale. You would very soon see services which will offer forged documents to create just by providing some basic details. You will see one example over here. Just you select what all things are to be modified. AI can very easily identify these are the locations you have to go and change. The provided details would be automatically replaced over there, and you can now create very easily forged documents. And best thing about everything, you get all the documentation on YouTube. No much resources to be dig deeper. You will have everything there. Now comes downloading unauthorized documents, which does not belong to me, it belongs to somebody else, but still I would be able to download it. Anyone can download documents of some other person with very minimal or basic information needed. You would be able to view someone's ID proofs containing name, their signature, email address, phone, their physical address, photographs, so many things. Devoid of parameters for proper validations, you would also be able to see we can go and replace, or if not present, can put our address or the attacker's contact details, and henceforth OTP and everything would eventually come to attacker, not the legitimate person. The first example I'll take about vehicle RC. It's a document which can guarantee this is the owner of so-and-so vehicle. All you need is last 5 digits of vehicle's engine and chassis number. The functionality is so awesome. The OTP comes to the attacker's provided mobile number and not to the actual person whose vehicle it used to be. You will be just seeing, I am just entering the vehicle number. I'll put down last 5 digits. Post that, the OTP will come to the registered number which account I was holding, not the actual owner of the vehicle. These are the last 5 numbers of chassis engine number. This is my own mobile number. OTP comes to me. I enter the same OTP, and now I have the vehicle RC which does not belong to me. This gets added into my account permanently, irrevocable. Now, if I have a forged vehicle HSRP, even I can convince police or whoever so it is that this actually vehicle belongs to me now. Next example, with your driving license, and just date of birth, you would be able to get anyone's details. And these also supports very easily brute force. You need not use any brain, no tools extra needed. Very smoothly you would be able to download anyone's DL. And not just download, view, modify, everything you can do. I'm going to DL renewal service. I just enter the DL number, date of birth, CAPTCHA, that's all done. I would be able to retrieve the details. Now you can see over here. The most secure feature I would say is this thing. They just have a drop down asking the DL belongs to you except yes or no. Of course I selected yes. And now you would be able to see I can go modify the contact details, everything. Henceforth, this DL would be now under my control. By the way, these are my friends' DLs. I have taken consent from them. Now, UN number is used for PF, Provident Funds. You might be aware of it. All you need is a UN number, DOB, that's all. While I was using this application, the name, gender, and the linked account, everything was completely different. On top of that, UN are linked with Aadhaar. Aadhaar seeded UN still can be downloaded without a linked Aadhaar number. You can just imagine what level of risk it would be. And on top of that, UN is the second most downloaded document in this portal. Just imagine the scale, what frauds can we do. I just enter UN number, date of birth, that's it. Fetch the document. It successfully fetched the details. The response contains UN number and everything. And it's in my document list. Now one more scenario where you have a document and you want to verify. In this case, we will see how can you create a forged document and still you can pass on the security checks of verifications. And second way, you will be able to see you create a document which is legitimate, but it will not be able to verify whether it was actually a legitimate one or not. The application claims that it can scan all QR codes, which initially they were claiming it was only refined just to their own issued documents. Now because of this, people will have this assumption, yes, we would be able to scan everything including Aadhaar, everything. The worst part is the old Aadhaar letters what you would have seen just were base 64 encoded. Still these are valid documents. Still if you go anywhere, you would be able to scan with this. Documents, you would be able to pretend it's valid, whereas it would not. Again, the most favorite cartoon character. He holds now Aadhaar in India. So, what I am doing is, I have created a fake document with a green tick and a QR code. Now if you see the scan succeeded, I have added his name, whatever I wish. I can even add one more HTML meta tag telling verified success equals to true. And it's very easy to convince when someone has scanned with their own phone and the details are showing verified true. My camera can also do the same thing. Why would I need an official digital application for this? Now the other case. Earlier this was example of a forged document. Now this example is a legitimate document that also fails the verifications over here. It won't be able to confidently tell, yes, this was a legitimate document, so it's no point of using the application at all. It's a UN which was downloaded from the same application. I exported PDF out of it. Now I'm scanning the same. I have masked the details. You would be able to see there is green tick over there issued by the same application. In the bottom, the prompt says they cannot scan this particular document. Then what is the purpose? One more example, other application. Similar way over here, they do not give a prompt, but the virtual RCs which were generated, you scan it, the application crashes, it redirects you to the home page, that's all done. No way of verifying whether the RC was really legitimate or not. If you would have been to Goa on vehicles rented over here, now you do not have any clue whether the vehicle what you have got, the actual RC what you see versus the one HSRP play what you have is the same or not. One more thing, these documents which are issued, they lacked proper digital credentialing. If you notice, the PDF which I exported, clear cut says it's an unknown document, which means CA certificate, it's not trusted. On top of this, you would see in the bottom, verified and green tick mark. There is no point of that if you are in a digital era. I can draw the same in MS Paint, I can put it in any PDF and I can fool someone. And here if you see, here comes the best part. The document was issued in 2024. The certificate was expired in 2023. That means they do not care about anything. Now one common misconception which arose in the flow with IT Act, that whatever you show in the official applications would always be treated as valid. Why I am telling this is, you will get the idea very soon. If you look at both these images, the icons, the app launcher icons, can you distinguish whether the left one is correct or right one is correct? Let me debug the fact. Just by clicking on an application whose icon name resembles the legitimate one, you still can create your own application. You can sideload or even download from Play Store. You would be able to load any document which is not valid, and there is no way to identify or authenticate this actually document came from a legitimate application or from anywhere else. There are applications on Play Store, free to download. 1 second it takes to change or randomize icon of any application. Some of the examples here where you would see the ID proofs which we have uploaded for multiple other reasons, either in form of missing authentication or IDOR. So many vulnerabilities, you would see it getting leaked in the file. This is an example of a local municipal corporation web portal where you just need to enter some wildcards. You would be able to get the details of the person, full name, current present address, everything associated with that. One more example where you just need to put a date range, any random letter you put, again no specific filter criteria needed. You would be able to get date of birth of everyone issued in that particular date range. So if you think earlier when we saw DL plus date of birth were being asked, at least date of birth was asked, but then this is the way you would be very easily able to get DOB. And they have no validation. If you want to download marriage certificate, death certificate, birth certificate, any random person's Aadhaar, you upload it over here, you would be very easily able to download their particular details, because they do not have any kind of mapping that this actually belongs to the same person. One more example, when HSRP was mandated, people who would have registered for HSRP, there were portals, this has been outsourced to third-party vendors. Now these vendors, they forget about complying with anything. They do not even care about putting CAPTCHA, authentication, nothing. You just increment one by one in the URL, you would be able to get everyone's order details. Or even you just need to put someone's vehicle number, you would get the order slip out of that. that contains all PII, vehicle details, everything. Using that, you yourself can reorder one more HSRP. You put it in some other vehicle and you have everything with you. Police portal, they are meant to protect us, but their web servers leaked everything. When you go for a house rental document verification, some cities have this mandate. You would have to go and register with the police online or offline, however you wish. There you have to upload your documents, and they were prone to IDOR. So I uploaded mine. Now whoever next comes, I know the serial number. I would be able to modify and get all the details, including their ID proof, rental agreement, signature, everything. You can imagine everything will be there. Inner line permit, when you go in some of the very sensitive regions, neighbor sharing countries, now they ask you for ILP for multiple reasons. All you need is someone's group ID, or if you register yourself, you will get your group ID. Now you verify one by one, increment it, you will get other group IDs, you would be able to download their details. And now you can imagine when you have ILP would have ID proof, your contact details, date of birth, everything A to Z in there. This was ultimate. I could never think this can actually happen. I applied for address change. I used a allotment letter where the first name, middle name, last name, nothing belonged to me. I uploaded this document, uploaded successfully. I got an order number. Next day morning, I got the invoice generated also. With this address proof, now I can do whatever I want. I would be able to change my other details also, because LPG connection, your bill would be treated as very legitimate, authentic. One more case, voter ID card. I applied for name change. Now in this case, name and address change, whenever it comes, BLO has to go and verify on the spot. House was closed, address verified. There was a registered number. There was no OTP or warning sending over there. Someone has actually attempted to change your details with some other random number. Just by uploading these documents, we can change everything. You will get a new or a modified voter ID delivered at your home. Now this is about tamper proofing of physical envelopes. Whenever any document is delivered to your home, it has to be intact. Whereas if you see on the left screen and right screen of the images, it's very easy to open and reseal again. So if I, in between, this is legitimate, we can say example of MITM in non-digital context. Someone can remove your passport from this, take the photocopies, re-put it, reseal it, and then deliver it to you. Nobody will get to know that this was actually opened in between. Same example. This was paper document. Still it was very easy to open, remove the ID, misuse it, repack it, and then deliver it to you. Now, when it comes to video KYC, to simplify hassles when COVID was at its peak, to avoid people contact coming, these kind of things, video KYC was adapted by many of the institutions. But now let's see about deepfake, how this can be potentially dangerous. So this is image, this is a video source from internet, not mine. So now you can see, just by having someone's photograph train the model, you would be able to get video feeds simulating some other person which does not belong to you. And you would also recognize very soon future, there would be tools, there would be scripts which would be able to feed in this live stream inside the web cameras. In COVID you might have seen many times managers or HRs would force you to turn on the web camera to make it interactive. People identified plugins which can inject into the webcam stream and pretend that camera is corrupt, or so many things, tricks are coming on. Very same way, these feeds we would be able to inject inside the video cameras. They would relay the person is actually present, whereas the person would not even be over there. Your video KYC will complete with someone else document downloaded with this kind of AI generated video KYC. You would be able to open so many forged accounts, so many scams. CKYC, Central KYC. It's a 14-digit character, 14-digit numeric digits. This will identify every user. This was intended to simplify KYC process, that is to tell us. But behind the scenes, it was to open full access to whoever wants it. Now, banks, NBFCs, then mutual funds, insurance companies, if you want to have demat, everything which is regulated under RBI, IRDA, I mistyped it, SEBI, PFRDA, all of these would abide with CKYC, they will accept it. But the fun part was, CKYC number, if you just give it, you do not even need any other second document, photo, neither signature nor OTP, nothing required. Just that 14 digit alone itself is sufficient, all and soul, to do whatever you want. You would be able to open all of these kind of accounts, or you would be able to do so many KYCs just by this. Now, because there was no consent, there is no authentication required, still they say that it is safe process, nothing can be done, we have sufficient parameters to verify. If someone opens a mule account, assuming they have the CKYC number, for them it is as simple as sending an email or a SMS to the bank telling this is my CKYC number, please renew it. RBI introduced re-KYC process so that they can control on mule accounts. But then just by having this CKYC, you keep on sending the email whenever they ask for it. You will renew your CKYC. There is no point of re-KYC coming in place. Re-KYC was there when they assume someone is not using the account, someone else could be using it later on. To avoid these kind of frauds, the concept came in. But now there won't be any point of having it. Across all of these things, now here comes the main thing. Rationalizing where we need KYC, where we do not need KYC, where we need what kind of KYC. It comes movable versus immovable assets. And whenever it's immovable asset, it's stationary, it's immutable. For these kind of things, we would not need KYC so rigorously. Whereas compared to other case, when it's a movable asset, movable entity, there KYC is very much crucial. We have to be very attentive over there. I'll give you a few of the examples to clarify. Now imagine if it's a bank account. Bank account is immutable. Once it's opened, the account number never changes. It cannot be transferred to anybody randomly. You can add nominees, second holder, etc. But primary holder still remains the same. After the person transfers, it transfers everything to nominee. But there is no chance of it getting transferred. So this is a example of a non-movable asset. The case of frauds here are still happening because of some other reason. But there is no such hard and fast need of re-KYC every now and then because it's eventually a immovable asset. Now let's take the example of vehicles. Vehicles are movable asset. You just need to replace your number plate behind and you can pretend someone else. You just swap someone's number plate, complete identity changed. You would be able to transfer your vehicle to someone else also. You will be able to resell it. These are called movable assets. Here the risk is so much, but hardly any attention is being paid. As I told you earlier, HSRP ordering, there was no mandate, no need of KYC at all. Just randomly you book for HSRP, you pay the amount, they are earning it, they are happy with that, they deliver the HSRP, that's all. So we have to now rationalize what kind of thing needs KYC, what kind of thing does not need KYC. One more example, this is very serious, very crucial. Most of you might be vaccinated. It was voluntary, it was for self-protection, and it was produced in bulk. Despite that, the greed of having data, KYC was forced over here. On the other side, when RT-PCR or shortfall of life-saving medicines or shortfall of hospital beds, these kind of things, KYC was not provided. So you can imagine, we need KYC when black marketing was happening, when people were struggling. These kind of places, KYC could have solved so many things, but we did not pay attention over there. Because of which now we would be able to understand clearly KYC has to be channelized properly wherever needed, and when it's not needed, it definitely should not be needed. Now before I go to solutions, I would like to show you this image. Was a press release initially from UIDAI, later on immediately it was revoked. What actually happened was they were telling you should not be providing your Aadhaar card to anyone. Wherever you do not trust, you should not be blindly giving it. You would have stayed in hotels, you would have probably rented a vehicle. What if they ask you your ID proof? You simply would give them ID proof, they will take photo of it, they would be able to reuse it. With that intention, initially they posted it, because they do not know how it can be misused, what can be done over it. But then, we do not have infrastructure at all. If people start resisting this, most of our things would completely go useless. People would stop providing their KYC documents. They will not give any ID proofs. They will refrain providing it. Their governance will go down. Immediately, this thing was revoked. Now, we have identified so many problems around. Let's think about what could be the potential solutions. So, first and foremost thing is we have to build a very strong team who is capable of delivering these solutions. We have to identify the domains where already these kind of solutions are present. There are so many current solutions in the same government, in the same private model. We just need to borrow the best part from every solutions and fit it as per what we need. We just need to cater these kind of things suitable to our solutions. And this is the most important thing. They are hungry about our unauthorized data. We have to make them starve. So technically talking about what can be done, we have to start life cycle of documents. What does this mean is, when you give some of the ID proof, it should be labeled with from this date to this date, or for this purpose it should be used, nothing beyond that. So whenever your document is lost, you can simply discard that document number and you would be able to generate a new number, so your usage, availability will also not be impacted. At the same time, no one would be able to reuse it. Document identification number. So most of CA auditors might be knowing there is one such solution already available. They use it so that no one forges the numbers. These are the whitelisted document numbers. So imagine you are going for any of the service. You generate a one specific document number which links to what purpose and who would be the end consumer of it. This makes it very seamless. If this is used somewhere else, you can immediately spot this was not for the intended purpose. You can reject that thing. Just like password managers, document digital wallets should not allow recovery. Right now, if you lost the password, if you change the device, every document would be able to pull over there. Whereas if it was the case of password managers, if you lose the password, damn sure you cannot recover anything from there. Passwords you would be able to change after every 90 days. Whenever you want it, documents you definitely won't be able to. Aadhaar EKYC, it's good, but it's not sufficient because there is no real mapping done. What document, what physical person it belongs to. It's just a reject matches the name, that's all. Imagine in India when spouse marries, goes over there, it's again a availability problem also. At the same time, India has so many common names, same person would be able to download document from someone else because it's just name match these days. Audit trail of every operation has to be there. Whenever it's viewing of a document, sharing with someone, downloading, login, everything has to be logged. Then only person would immediately identify somewhere someone is misusing my documents. Date of birth, definitely it's no longer secret. Every social account, you announce today is my birthday, you put a cake photo, they get to know your date of birth. Document wallets, whoever has kept it default, this would be their default date of birth. Majority still will have the same thing. This is one important thing. Whenever documents have to be shown to someone, it's not just you show it from your phone, they simply say yes, it's valid and they take it. It's same like in pen test what we say, client side security is no longer a security because you can put burp proxy, you can tamper. It has to be both ways, client and server. Same way, whoever is the verifier has to verify from his own control device. Then only the full end-to-end verification or the integrity or the authenticity of document would hold true. And this is most important for all of us, minimizing sharing of data. Wherever not essential, you should not. Stopping self-enrollment of documents. As you saw earlier, I was able to get a document name change. Because I myself enrolled, there was no one to verify, nothing. It has to be proper enrollment process, then only certain alteration should be allowed. A formal document verification has to be enforced. Digital credentialing now should come to maturity. We are almost 20 years plus into digital era and still we are lagging over here. As you saw there, video KYCs, CKYCs, right now it may not be so much exploitable. But very soon going further, you would be able to see so many frauds coming around over there. And more than everything else, it has to be unity in the security community. If we have this thing, damn sure this will act as a catalyst and the solutions would speed up just because of this. That's all. Thank you very much. So, I would not have many of the questions answerable because most of the things you would see are live, 0 days. You go home, you would be able to verify everything, almost everything. Few of them only would be fixed or partially patched. I would say use it very cautiously, do not misuse it. At the same time, take your time, identify more such use cases, report them. Collectively, only we would be able to accomplish the full task. Thank you everyone once again.
Thank you so much, Kartik. You did mention about changing our lives before the talk, and it did change our lives for sure. And you terrified us as well, for sure. Thank you, and a huge round of applause for Kartik, everyone.